لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله.
In the beginning, before I knew anything about Islam, I thought that it was very separate to Christianity and Judaism. I thought it was somewhat like Hinduism, faraway religion that had nothing to do with me or anyone near me, until I started going to school with Muslim kids in the school, in my classroom, and I heard them speaking about Islam, and I've asked them what Islam is, but I didn't really understand what they were trying to say to me. But all I basically got from them that Jesus was a prophet figure in Islam, so I knew then that it was attached somewhat to Christianity, and it wasn't this separate thing. About 2 years ago, on Christmas Eve, I was told that I had a brain tumor that would kill me in about 4 or 5 years, and so I was told that I was going to die, and I was only about 15 years old at the time, and so I'd never really thought deeply into death, and so this is what caused me to have panic attacks and become so disturbed and angry, and so I had to look into things, look into different religions, and try and find what I can do with my life, and find what's the best thing for me while I wait to die, basically. And I went through a phase thinking, well, I'm going to die, basically live it up, do whatever I want, and then that kind of does get boring, and then at the end of that I'm left again looking at religions, and so I became Buddhist for a while, because it's really not a religion on its own. It's more of just a not really a way of life, but it's kind of just a way of looking at things, really. Like to look at things for what they are, and not interpret things in wrong ways, and to twist things. You look at things quite literally a lot of the time. And when I was Buddhist, I was looking at other religions too, but before I was Buddhist, when I was looking at other religions, I would look at them to criticize them, and to make myself feel better. But well, when I was Buddhist, I was looking at the religions for what truths they have, and what they have that's plain in evidence, and what they don't have to twist around to make something seem one way. And then this got me into looking into Islam, because previously I had left Islam to be the last. I wouldn't want to look at that at all, because I thought that Muslims were bad people, were terrorists, and that they're only Arabs, and you can't be a Muslim if you're not an Arab, and things like that. And when I started really looking into Islam, I got interested in it. I couldn't stop talking about it. I was on the computer all day reading about it, and for months I knew that it was the right thing for me to do, to become Muslim, but I just couldn't take the step. I enjoyed drinking occasionally, I enjoyed going to parties and things, but it was hard to give those things up for the first week. But when you got it all out of your system, and you really have not had alcohol for a week or two, and not had drugs for a week or two, or maybe a month, then really you think, wow, that was really easy for me to stop doing all that thing. And luckily I didn't have too much of a drinking problem, but I was drinking quite heavily. I stopped drinking after I became Muslim, though, because I just said, look, I'm going to become Muslim anyway, so I might as well just do it now, because I could die any day now. I don't know, anything could happen. And being told that I had a brain tumor, you know, like I could have died if maybe I got into a fight and someone punched me in the head. Maybe I would have died just then, just from the damage that would have taken to the tumor. So I thought, well, I'm not going to just sit around and wait for me to die, and then go to hell. So I was faced with the reality that I have to do it now. You can't wait. So I asked my mum, do we know any Muslims? Do we know anyone that I can talk to about Islam, and just ask my final few questions that I want to know answered? that I couldn't find on the internet. And I met a guy named Saleem, who is the husband of a man, the husband of the woman who works with my mum.
Sure.
So my mum knew this woman for a long time because she worked with her for a few years, and she invited Saleem over to our house, and I talked to him for maybe only 20 minutes, and I had come to the conclusion, yep, I absolutely want to become Muslim. And he told me, okay, tomorrow we'll go to the mosque, because the day after was Friday, so we'll go to the mosque on a Friday, we'll go in there for Maghrib, and you can say the Shahada there, and in front of everybody, and it will be also. I was getting ready for going to the mosque, didn't know what to wear, so looking up things to do, not to wear your shoes going inside the mosque and things like that, and I didn't know what I was really getting myself into. Like, I didn't know what the people in the mosque were going to be like or anything, and so I come into the mosque. It was empty at the time that I first came in there, and luckily there was a scholar in the city at the time, and he was staying at that mosque. So I got to talk to a scholar. I believe it was Sheikh Yusuf. Yeah, I talked to him for a little while, and I already knew what to say for the Shahada and everything, and so I didn't want to even delay it to wait till the prayer time.
عفوه خير وجود فارتجي دوما رضاه فارتجي دوما رضاه.
Luckily, my mother didn't hate Muslims, and I live with my mother, with no father in the picture. He lives on the opposite side of the country. And with my mother, even while I was an atheist, I was joking around one day, and I said, what would you do if I became a Muslim? And she said that she didn't care really what I do, just as long as I didn't harm anybody or myself. And so she was basically okay with that. Began looking into Islam. I would share what I would read with, to my mum, so much so that she asked me to stop because I was talking way too much to her, and I was talking for like an hour or 2 hours while she's trying to watch TV or read a book. Inside the house and around her, I'm not like really angry anymore. I used to be very angry and very nervous, and I used to have panic attacks all the time. I don't know why though, but sometimes I had panic attacks just from thinking about death in general, and thinking about the afterlife and what other religions had to say about the afterlife.
Sure.
And I would cause myself to have panic attacks, and I would always be stressed. And I would drink quite heavily too, and I would do drugs inside the house, and I've stopped doing that kind of thing. And my mum's much happier with me now. Just look at the Quran for yourself, read it for yourself, go at your own pace, and you'll find that really every answer of your questions that you want will be there. If I had to tell my family to do something, it would be read it for yourself and read it in full. Don't read part of the chapter and then stop.
إن سألتم عن إلهي فهو رحمن رحيم أنزل الشرع حنيفا رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين. If you ask me who my God is, on whose name I call, if you ask me who my God is, He's the God of us all, Allah the Merciful. If you ask me who my prophet is, I will say, haven't you heard? His name is Muhammad, a mercy to the worlds, a mercy to the worlds. إن سألتم عن نبي فهو إنسان عظيم علم الناس علوما جمع دنيا ودين، جمع دنيا ودين.